Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mancinelli's Math Lab. I appreciate all of the support I've gotten over the past few years. I never would have. Let's turn this off. I never would have realized that I had this many subscribers by now, and well, I apologize for not being around the past couple years. As you know, working, studying is a lot of work, of course, takes up a lot of time. Hate making excuses, not one to make excuses, but as I mentioned in my post a couple weeks ago, I want to get back into it, want to start making videos. It seems like people are appreciating the content, learning from it, so that's enough motivation for me to get back at it. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy interacting with you guys, enjoy helping people. So I just wanted to touch on a few things right now. I'm not going to give any sort of math or actuarial content today, but I just want to touch on a few things going on with myself. And well, here's my agenda. So I just wanted to give a quick update for myself. What am I doing? Well, hopefully this is familiar to you. This board, this atmosphere, this is where I started making videos. I'm back out in Phoenix, Arizona. And I got my little lab up here. That's why I called it Mancinelli's Math Lab, because this is where I do my studying. This is where I can make videos. I got my whiteboards. I got a few whiteboards now. So I'm back in Arizona. As you may know, I was up in Seattle working for Liberty Mutual for 2 years. I worked there as an intern in the reserving department. Had a really cool project working on Berkwood Sherman reserving techniques, which was awesome. And then I worked in a pricing role, which was mostly external filings. So we would file for rate increases or decreases to the Department of Insurance, which would vary by state. So I worked in that role for about 20 months. Is that right? No, less than that. About 18, year and a half. Anyways, I lose track. Was up in Seattle for two years working for Liberty Mutual. Awesome company, great experience, learned a ton. I mean, nothing bad I can say about that company. It is absolutely awesome. I loved all the people I worked with. Had a great manager. Shout out to my manager. Learned a ton from him. It was great being a protege under him. So not enough good things I can say about that place, but life sometimes takes you another direction. I wanted to get back to Arizona. For one, it's so much more affordable here. I want to be able to buy a house, start a family, etc. So right now, how did I get back here? I now work for Nationwide. So I work for Nationwide Insurance, which is also, of course, property casualty insurance. So I haven't changed my track in terms of actuarial. I'm still an actuarial analyst. So I have 4 exams now. So I passed PFM, MFE, which is now IFM, and then I took exam MAS1, so Mass 1, which is Modern Actuarial Statistics. I failed the first time. A little bit of a sidetrack, little funny story. I failed by 1 point. Each question's worth 2 points. I failed by 1 point. This exam you get penalized for wrong answers, so you lose a quarter of a question. You lose half a point for missing a question. So you answer it and you get it wrong. You get minus half a point. You get 2 points for right answers, and then you get 0 if you leave it blank. So anyways, took MAS1 last fall and got a 5. Of course, you need a 6 to pass. I missed it by 1 point. Absolutely furious. Not only that, but I missed it because I bubbled in an answer wrong. Holy crap. As you can imagine, I was absolutely furious, but as I mentioned before at the beginning of this video, I'm not one to make excuses. I hate excuses. My sort of thought process was, well, I should not have let it get that close to begin with. It should never have been that close. I mean, that's on me. So, came back at it, took it again, of course, scored a 6. Not much better. I was furious. I mean, made tons of mistakes again. I mean, these freaking multiple choice exams, make a mistake, and then you get penalized for wrong answers, so I'm not a fan of multiple choice math, but whatever. Finally passed the second attempt. So I've passed 4 exams. I failed once. That one exam I failed at once. But hey, get back on the horse. Start riding again. So nothing you can do. look forward, try to put it behind you, come back with, stronger, with a vengeance, and that's what I try to do. So that's officially puts me on the property casualty track in terms of actuarial, and I plan on staying on that track. I definitely enjoy it. I enjoy my work. I love what I do. So now I'm working for Nationwide in Scottsdale, excess surplus specialty, and I'm in pricing again. So kind of leads me to my next point, which is I will be making videos on the exam I'm studying for next, which is rate making and reserving. So I think this is going to be a really good topic, especially for people interested in pursuing actuarial, because it'll give you an idea of what actuarial is all about. Because the next exam, pricing and reserving, is literally what you do on the job. I mean, it may not be for everyone that's in actuarial, but in terms of traditional roles, pricing and reserving are the main ones. So I'll be making videos specifically on pricing coming up next. Most likely will be on leveling earned premium, which I just find cool and interesting, and I can explain it in a very intuitive way. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I don't want to make this video too long, so let's move on. I get a lot of questions about getting your first job in actuarial, so I want to touch on that briefly. Main thing I want to say is, biggest myth, pass too many exams and companies won't be interested in you. I think that's a myth. I don't think that's true at all. I think the more the merrier. I think if you can pass as many exams as possible, I think that will show how dedicated you are, how serious you are, how committed you are. So I think that's a good idea. Unfortunately, the position we're in now, once you get past exam 3, you kind of have to decide which track you're going, whether you're going to follow the Society of Actuaries or the Casualty Actuarial Society. So there is that sort of drawback. And so ultimately, at least 3. Get at least 3 exams. I mean, that's not to say, once you pass an exam, start applying. I mean, apply everywhere. Just start applying. You have a degree in, math, economics, statistics, whatever. Actually, anything, really. If you can show you can pass exams, just start applying and don't be discouraged. I mean, I think I said in a previous video, I got rejected by everywhere. I mean, name it. I applied everywhere there was open. I applied, never heard back from most places. In fact, Nationwide, which I work for now, they never got back to me. But once I passed a couple exams, have an experience, I mean, once you're in, you're kind of in. So I just want to say, don't get discouraged. If you really want it, keep pursuing it. Take it as, when I was, when I was going through this, when I was changing from teaching to actuarial science, my attitude was, I'm going to get a job or nothing. Like, that was it. Like, that was the option. There was no other option. There was make it happen, do everything you can to make it happen. So my advice to you is pass some exams, apply everywhere, do not get discouraged. That's pretty much it. Stick with it. I mean, you obviously believe in yourself enough that you can do it, right? I mean, you think you can pass exams, make it happen. Okay, so that's what I'll say about that. I mean, just one other thing. It's really, as I mentioned before, I kind of alluded to, it's tough to get into the profession, but I think once you're in and you have some experience, I think you're kind of locked in. As long as you can pass exams, you're in good shape. So I think I already touched on this future videos. My next exam, I'm taking exam 5. And this is CAS. So I know there are a lot more actuaries on the SOA side. I'm on the CAS side, so I'm studying for CAS exam 5. As I mentioned, this is rate making. Rate making and reserving. So in other words, pricing and then estimating future liabilities, essentially, right? So these will be the kind of content I'll be doing. I mean, I would love to just do whatever kind of content you guys have. I would love to do that. Believe me, if I had the time, I would love to do that. But I kind of have to stick with what I'm studying right now. And as I mentioned, this will be a good sort of intro to people who know nothing about actuarial science. What does an actuary do? This is good for that. This is typically what actuaries do. And if you are on the SOA side, feel free to comment below and tell me if this is something different that you guys do sort of in the conventional context. I think it's pretty much the same, right? I mean, even if you're working in health insurance, you got to price it, you got to reserve, right? You don't know what the cost of insurance is. That's why you got to reserve. I mean, you got to keep amount of capital on hand to be able to pay out these future liabilities for which you don't know what they're going to cost. But we got to estimate that, right? That's what Actuary does. So this can be the future content. Again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit the like button. Please comment below. Please subscribe to the channel. And I hope you guys are benefiting from the content. All right, thanks again. See you soon.